Right, for the past 2 years, I have completely been rinsing the YouTube platform and the YouTube automation game completely of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm going to show you how to do the exact same thing as you can see that I've done with this channel right here. So I've grown this channel to 308,000 subscribers by today. $92,000 of ad revenue. Keep in mind, I do sell digital products on this channel as well, which you can see here has been up to $1.5 million at this point. I don't know if any other guy on YouTube or guru of some sort has actually sold this amount of or generated this amount of revenue with digital products through a completely faceless channel. I might be the first one. I don't know. You tell me in the comments if you have someone else. But just to show you guys that this is not fake in any way, I can refresh the page as many times as I want to. It will be the exact same. We'll see if my internet is just better here. You can see the same 1.5 million. It was averaging about like it seems between 150 and 130 or $100,000 per month in just this one digital product store. But you can see I've generated over 50 million impressions for a singular YouTube long form video. So I would like to claim that it's quite sure that I know what I'm talking about, right? I've done YouTube for 2 years now. When I started, I was in high school. I was also working part-time in a literal used store, like in a supermarket. And 2 years after that I've started this whole YouTube automation journey, I am now pretty well off, if I could say myself. But the point of this video, I'm going to share, unlike what other people are doing here on YouTube, I'm going to share everything that goes into starting one of these AI channels that can generate you up to $60,000 per month or even more if you start multiple ones. I'm going to break down everything just step by step, completely unedited, showing you how I do it on every day. I create these videos and they're generating me tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit every single month. So you might have seen this channel or very similar AI channels called the Sleepless Historian. This one has 487,000 subscribers, and if we look when it was started, you will see that it was started just, or actually oldest video, sorry. You will see that it was started just 2 months ago. So 60 days ago, this creator posted their first video. They have never shown their face in any of the content. You can see here, this is just some AI avatars as well. And they've already amassed 487,000 subscribers. And if we do check the analytics here as well with the Next Level Chrome extension, you'll see that the channel has generated $63,000 in revenue, just purely ad revenue from YouTube in the last 28 days. And that is completely insane. They are using AI tools only, so the margins are also super, super high. I would figure that these, like the videos that this channel posts probably has a 95% profit margin, since AI tools are very cheap when you create the right systems, when you know how to use them, and you do not really need any human staff that costs or charges a lot of money to manage stuff. You simply need to master these AI tools, set up a very good workflow, and then you can be pretty well off with just a singular virtual assistant that generally is very cheap. So in this video, I'm going to show you everything that goes into creating a channel just like this one. I'm going to talk about how precisely these guys are generating this content, making over $60,000 consistently a month, and how you can do the exact same thing. So everything starts off with the script. If you do not have a video topic and if you do not have a script, it's going to be very hard for you to create a video, right? So that would be the first part. Now, I'm going to use an AI tool called Subscriber here. There is actually a more manual method that will be free using ChatGPT and creating your own private GPT that has been taught and specialized for that specific niche using code blocks and stuff. You can see that I'm using JSON code here to create this persona for the GPT. That, however, takes a very long time, so I'm not going to dive into this method during this video. If you do want to see that, please leave me a comment. I'll make a separate video on that as well. But I want to see like 100 comments if I'm going to do it, because it takes a lot of time to set up a new one. But subscriber initially does the same thing. It's just been turned into an app. It will cost you more, of course, than using ChatGPT. But this is going to be way easier to show you how to generate very good scripts using AI. So with this tool like Subscriber, you would simply go to channels, add new channel, and here you have to enter the channel handle of the reference that you want to create scripts like. So I'll just go to the Sleepless Historian channel and paste in the handle there. Then press add YouTube channel, and they have now kind of scraped all of the data that is available on this YouTube channel, analyzed the scripts and questions, and then turn this into kind of a profile here in Subscriber. And this is exactly what you would do with your own GPT, but now it's been done for you, in just a matter of seconds. So with this audience avatar now being created, I can just go ahead and create the first script here. You'll see that there are examples where you can put your video topic. Your audience here is already pre-filled in. So I would simply go to the, let's see here, put the format. It would be kind of a story, or we could just go with the filled in like format that they've already chosen. Target length, since these guys are making very, very long videos, you would generally want a video to be this length as well when you're doing AI stories. People or beginners might not understand why you would want to make such long videos, but the truth is, and this is actually a very good thing for you to know, is that YouTube prioritizes two things. So there are two tips that you can implement to your channel in order to perform a lot better, 10x your revenue, 10x your RPM as well, and make sure that your channel becomes disgustingly profitable. And those two things are, first of all, making super long uploads like these guys are doing. Every video is 2 hours plus. I think they're aiming for 2 hours and 20 minutes, all of their uploads. And you also want to upload, the second thing would be to upload very, very often. Increase the upload frequency. If you only do apply these two tips, even if your content is slightly worse than your competitors, you can still make crazy amounts of money and perform better than them just by kind of doing what the algorithm wants. They want to keep the viewer on the platform as long as possible. So if you create a 2 hour long video, but only have people stay 50% of the video, that would be 1 hour that the user is on the platform. When your competitors, they might create a 30-minute video, and even if they have 100% retention on their video, the viewer only stays for 30 minutes, which is half of what they've stayed on your video. So creating longer video and uploading frequently like these guys are doing, you can see that they are uploading approximately like once per day, it seems. Once per day, which is quite often for this long uploads. That is what you want to do in order to become equally profitable as this channel right here when doing AI source. So just for the sake of this example, I'm not going to make the target length 60 minutes or so. I'm just going to keep it to like 8 minutes, since I'm just going to show you quickly how to do all of this. The video title could be, let's just take their most proven concept here. This is also what you would want to do if you are doing this yourself. Simply go to your competitors, look at what topics they are performing the absolute best with, and do the exact same. This is what you want to do. And while we're here, we can actually preview one of these videos. I forgot to do that so that I can show you how the content looks and show you how simple this is.
Sweat through your layers.
So let's see here. Let's just take a quick preview. You'll see that it is only a script, AI voiceover, some filter on the video, and some sound effects. And that is all that they have. It's a slideshow.
Hey guys, tonight we begin with something a little darker. A time of plagues, punishments, and pottage. We're diving into what life was really like during the Middle Ages. Forget the castles and chivalry Hollywood sold you. The truth? You probably wouldn't last a single day.
So you can probably imagine how crazy it is that this simple content is making the creator of this channel most likely over $55,000 a month in profit just from posting this. So let's just take the title of this video and use that in Subscriber here. simply enter the title, boom. Let's just take the title here and not go too much into it, just add it as a topic as well. I would definitely advise that if you do this yourself, give a thorough explanation of the topic like this one, like the example here. But I'm just going to do this quickly to show you the point of everything. So boring history for sleep, why a modern day human wouldn't last a day in medieval times, and more. Let's just keep it that way. The audience is already filled in. The voice is already filled in, like the writing style. Like all of this is automated for you, and this is why this tool is very good. So let's just create the script. You'll get a thrown into like the script building process. This is also why this tool is actually very good, since you can tweak a lot of the stuff going into it if you really care about the quality of the scripts. But I'm just kind of going to burn through all of this. Oops. So let's start the research. Yes, let's just, you could either add relevant research here to your topic, like history, articles, whatever, to make this even better. I'm just going to add the URL of the most viral video here, so that we're kind of taking the same things that they are doing. Add source, boom, boring history for sleep. And now we can move on to the frame. So the tool is going to generate these frame ideas. You'll get a structure of the script. Very straightforward. I don't know how to explain this any better. So the frame has now been generated. You can see that we got a lot of information here. I'm just going to go with this. I'm not going to shake it too hard because I don't want to make this video, an hour in length. So we'll just be, oops, actually I accidentally generated more parts to the frame here. But let's just dive onto the title. Title is already chosen. Let's go to the thumbnail. For the thumbnail here, you will simply either hire a designer for like $5 a piece that can make thumbnails like this. It's some very simple graphic design. You add some historic AI generated images and then just put boring history for sleep in this example. But here goes the same principle as for the topics. You want to just go with a proven concept. Proven concepts are what will take you to 10K and beyond. You need to always copy what is working. There's no shame in that, and simply apply it to your own channel. So if you were to make a similar channel to this one, but let's say focused on sports, super random examples, so you would just take the exact same format that they have with some sports related things here, and then write boring sports for sleep. So you essentially take everything that has allowed them to go viral and apply that to your own channel. But let's see here. You can see here that you got some suggestions on the thumbnail. Let's just move on to the hook to make this as fast as possible. It will generate hook ideas. I'll cut to when the hook ideas are done. All right, so the hooks are done. You can see that we got a bunch of suggestions. All of them sounding like they are in the writing style of the reference channel. So let's just take this one, use this hook. That one's good. You could also use other hooks if you want to, but I'll just use this one for example here, creating the script. Now it's generating payoff ideas. Once again, I'll get back to you when the payoff ideas are done. So it kind of bugged out here, but let's just move on to the draft. This is when it is going to get very interesting and when you'll get your actual script. So let's just say the everything is ready to write. So you would press generate outline and draft. You could generate the outline first if you want to, but just to speed this up, I'll generate everything at once. This might take a little while. So once again, I'm going to cut to when the outline and the script has been finalized so that we finally can move on to the next step. Perfect. So the whole script has now been generated, and as you can see, if we just take a look at the language here, you'll see that the intro is very much like the reference video. If you would go back and watch that, it kind of introduces them to the topic and explains what will be taught in the actual video. Then when the intro is passed, it goes into this storytelling, trying to put the viewer into the perspective of someone who's actually living at that point of history. So it says like it speaks in a totally different perspective, saying like your day begins in darkness. Breakfast is 2 chunks of stale bread so hard you could hammer nails with them. So this tool, although it is of course paid, is very, very accurate. It creates profiles of your audience super, super well. So I definitely recommend that you do use it if you want to, if you have a budget to go through. But if you want to learn the GPT method, as I said, just leave a comment and letting me know. I'll definitely create it. It is a very good method as well. It kind of does the same thing, except you will be having to do more manual work and actually put more time into it yourself. But if you would like to edit anything, you could simply do so. Just click on the edit tab here. You could edit it by getting feedback by the bot and editing it yourself, of course, if you want to draft it together here, make changes. But yeah, then you would export it. Simply, let's see here, actually. You can download the script like this. I would do so. I'm just going to keep it here for now since we're going to use it later on. But the next step would be to generate the voiceover. So the voice that you're hearing in this video, if you just go back here.
And let's ease into tonight's journey together. At the height of his reign,
This is 100% AI. You can make a equally perfect voice with AI. We're going to be using 11 Labs. And this is actually by far the, sorry, let's just get this way. Okay, so yeah, 11 Labs is by far the most realistic voices that you can find when it comes to AI. It is also one of the, I think it is the cheapest voiceover generator out there as well. Highest quality, cheapest, just best in general. So it's a no-brainer that you're gonna use this one. So you would just go over to the text-to-speech tab, the playground, or actually, sorry, go over to voices first. This is where you will find all of the different voices that they have to offer. And there are some best practice that I'm going to share with you that are very important to know in order to get the best possible voice for your channel. So in this case, we want something very calm, something for storytelling, as that is what the reference channel use. We're just going to use something similar. So what we would search for here would be storytelling. Let's see here. And we want to find someone that is male. First of all, someone that is middle-aged would be good, I would say. Narrative and story. And that is pretty much it. Language would be English, of course. Let's just see where we have that one. There, English. Accent can just be any. Now, if you want to get the highest quality voices and the best voices, first of all, you want to highlight the highest quality, high quality. This will ensure that the voices are a little bit more expensive for the actually cost per word and stuff, but they are going to sound a lot better and actually provide a lot better feeling for your audience. So if you have the budget, once again, definitely recommend that you do this. Otherwise, you can just go with any quality. But let's just move on to applying these filters and we'll see what we can find. So you would just listen through a few alternatives here. I'll just start doing so and see what we can find. See here.
People were frightened at the time, but on looking back, they rather liked it. It was a fine excitement.
I must not fear. Fear in the dark.
Let her go now. That'll be the end of it.
Be sure that your audience hears a voice that's clear and understanding.
Every step deeper into the darkness reveals it.
You can see that almost all these voices would honestly fit quite well for the channel. So let's see here.
On a cold, blustery
Crystal clear narration. Bring.
Mine is the voice you hear quite often on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok.
A good story hooks you in like the first tug on an invisible thread.
There are two things in this world a person should never be.
People were frightened at the time, but on looking back,
I must not fear.
people were frightened.
Yeah, so you would just go through all of these voices, find one that you think works the best. It doesn't really matter what voice you have as long as it fits the channel kind of. I'm just going to go with Cal here since, yeah, I thought that one was okay. It's quite deep and it's quite slow, so it works perfectly for the storytelling channel. Simply add that to your voices, and once that is added, this means that you can go onto the playground. You can change your voice to Cal here, as I've chosen it, or yeah, the voice that I want. And the model, this is actually quite important as well. If you want the best sounding voices as far as emotions go and how it's like how it pronounces things, always use the latest model that they have, which is in this case 11v3. Before it was 11 multilingual v2. But I'm going to use 11v3 just to get the best results. And then here, I would go back to my subscriber script here, take the, just to show you guys an example, I'm going to generate the introduction only. So you would paste in your script here, preferably in small paragraphs. So do not generate an entire, 2-hour long script at once. I don't think it's even possible. But don't generate 3,000 characters at once either. It's gonna always something in the voiceover might sound a little bit weird since after all it's AI that we're working with. So if you constantly generate 3,000 characters, you'll have to regenerate it quite a bunch of times, and you'll very easily burn through all of your free credits, causing you to have to spend more money to just generate a voiceover. So I would recommend that you generate smaller chunks, a little bit larger than this you can do, but generating smaller chunks is generally advised. So yeah, once you've pasted that in there, chosen your voice here, you can simply generate the speech. Let's see here.
Imagine waking up in 1325, scratching flea bites from a bug-infested straw mattress, surrounded by livestock in your one-room hut. This wasn't a nightmare. It was daily life for medieval peasants. Tonight, we'll explore...
Yeah, it works. If I were doing this myself right now, I would probably try to find a voice that is a little bit more similar to the reference channel, but just for the sake of the example, let's just do this one. So once you generated your voiceover here, you should find, sorry, the camera's in the way, but you should find a, sorry here, you can download your generation here. You can also listen to a second version of it, but download it and you are now good to go to the next step. Now the next step would be to generate the images that is shown on the video. And you might think that this creator has actually went online and found all of these images himself. But I can tell you, or I can pretty much guarantee you that they have AI generated all of these images and they just created a prompting style that consistently generates the same style. So that is exactly what I'm going to show you. Of course, another almost free or very cheap method. So what I would do is first of all grab the script that you have. I would, let's see here, go to the draft that we have here. Let's see where I can find it actually. I'm not sure. I might have to regenerate the draft here. Because of this period. So I would just take the script that you have, take the draft, and then we're going to use that to generate prompts for every image that is shown. And that will allow us to generate those images in Leonardo AI, which is a very cheap and free for a little bit voiceover, image generation software. I'm going to show you how it works in just a second here. Let's save this draft as well. Sorry if it got a bit messy here in the tutorial. But let's just save this draft. Let's head back over to ChatGPT here. Go to the regular chats open a new one. So I want to generate images that follows the storyline of the scripts and reflects what is being talked about in the video. So I will just tell ChatGPT I will paste a script for my video below. I want you to generate a prompt that I can use to visualize, that I can use to generate AI images being shown during the or throughout my video. In order to get them in the same style as your reference channel, what you can do is that you just take a simple screenshot. Oops, see here. Take a
and attacks on religion.
You can even see here, I didn't even notice this. These guys, they only have images for the first first 30 minutes of the script. So they are saving a bunch of time and a bunch of money by not even generating images for the latest part of the video. They know that people are watching this in the background or going to sleep to it, so they don't even bother generating more images than for just the first 30 minutes. But anyways, back to the point. If you want to get the same style as the reference channel, you simply take a screenshot of any of their images here, like this. And then you tell ChatGPT, I will also upload a screenshot of the images of the style that I want my AI generated images to be in. Make sure to curate the prompt to reflect this precise style. Something like that. It doesn't really matter completely what you write. Then go on to the desktop, upload the screenshot here, and below this here is the script, and then you just paste in the script. Boom. Actually change this. I want you to generate prompts. I will show each image for 5 seconds, so make sure to keep that in mind and generate a new prompt for every scene. Boom, and then we paste this, and what you will now get from ChatGPT is hopefully a bunch of prompts that we can just directly plug into Leonardo AI, which will help us generate the images. Now it seems like ChatGPT is completely having a mind of its own, so we might have to tweak this a little bit. Let's see here. We can prepare here. I don't want you to generate an image. Simply generate the prompts I can use in Leonardo AI to generate images in the correct style according to the scenes of my script. And this should be good. So this one, if we can cancel that and just let ChatGPT know that we do not want it to generate an image. So here you will see. You will see that I get a prompt for every single scene of the video that I can just plug into, Leonardo AI, and we should get a somewhat similar style as the reference channel. If you're struggling with getting the right style of the reference channel, you can simply also upload this screenshot once again here and write, please write a prompt template so I can generate generate images in exactly this style in Leonardo AI. And this way you'll get a more detailed prompt template that should work for Leonardo AI. Let's see here what ChatGPT comes up with. Right. And you'll see that it's slightly more detailed, and it also went ahead to generate 2 examples here. But let's just try with this first and see what we get. Boom, the prompt. So you would just head over to Leonardo AI. The website looks like this. It looks like this. You can also press on image here and you'll get to the image generation model. What you want to make sure is correct here is that it's in 16:9, the aspect ratio. This is for YouTube long form videos. Image dimensions doesn't really matter. Small, medium I would go for. Generation mode fast doesn't really matter. The quality doesn't have to be super fast for these images either. Style illustration, you can play around with a few different ones to find what works best for your channel or what looks the best. And that's pretty much it. So then you just paste in the prompt that you had, generate it, and you'll get 4 variations to play around with. So let's see here what we get. I might have to cut to when the images are done. Right, so the images are done. They didn't turn out the best. At the same time though, keep in mind, when you're doing this, try around with a few different prompts that you get from ChatGPT. This style, it is not super important that it is the exact same style as your reference channel, since you will be developing your own style for your own channel, giving it somewhat of a personality. So, you know, even if you have this kind of style to your generations, as long as you follow the same style for all future generations, that can work exceptionally well for your channel as well. You can see that I had a slightly different prompt here before and I got results like this. So it all comes down to just, you know, playing around with it, making some tweaks to the prompt and getting a style that you personally think looks good for your topic. So let's say I would just go with something like this. However, let's actually try generating another one just to see it here. See if we can get a pretty coherent style or not. Right, so you can see that the new images are generated, and as you can see, they are in a very consistent style to the other images, meaning that if you do just generate all of the prompts that you had here in ChatGPT, you will get kind of a full story narrating what your script is saying. So yeah, you would just continue generating these images so that you have to cover up for your entire beginning of the video, you know, the first 30 minutes or so, as the reference channel did. But I would just go ahead and download these images. Boom, downloaded. Boom, downloaded. We can even, I'll go ahead and generate another one here, just for the sake of it, so we have some more for the video example. Can go even ahead and generate the 4th one, like this. Let's just let this one finish. Right, so I've generated some images here. You can see that I have some pretty coherent one. Once I'll just download this as well, like this. Boom. And now we can move on to the next part that is very important. But it's completely free, very straightforward. I'm going to show you the step-by-steps of how you put together all of this that you have generated now will now come together and form the actual video. So what you're going to use is called CapCut. It is a free editing software. Doesn't require you to, you know, subscribe to any plan. Completely free, web-based, super easy to use. Definitely the best editor. And we can even go back to the reference channel here. If you go back to the beginning,
take a moment to like the video and subscribe.
You will see that they are literally using CapCut for their content.
Hey guys, tonight we begin with the bizarre slow.
So CapCut is what we're going to use. Just go to your projects, create a new one. Make sure that it is in the 16:9 aspect ratio for the YouTube style. And when you've got to this point, you can simply just, you know, upload all of the assets that you have generated. Go to downloads here, upload all of the images, the voiceover, And if you paid attention, you will know that the reference channel has a kind of fire filter going on their video, and they also have sound effects of a fireplace going on in the background. You can also have like sound effects of flies that would illustrate kind of the feeling of being in a very dirty area or dirty scenery, to kind of elevate the viewer experience. And this, like, keeping sound effects is a very integral part of your content. If your sound design is not on point, then the whole experience watching your video will be kind of degraded. If we just play this now for a little bit more, and just purely listen to the sound effects that they have, you'll see that it's a fireplace going on in the background, giving kind of a cozy vibe, allowing people to even sleep better when they're watching this content.
The motion collapse into death of Henry VIII, the Tudor titan whose life was filled with what?
And I know that it might feel super hard to find these sound effects, like where do you even start? I can tell you that simply search on the platforms like Vecteezy. You can search for fire particles overlay. You'll see a bunch of ones that you can find here. Some of them are free, meaning that they don't have a watermark. So I just went ahead and downloaded one of them from here. If I were you doing this yourself, of course, spend more time finding ones that really resonates with your content. But you can also use websites like Pixabay. It has some particles filters, like this one was good. Definitely something you can use. You can also edit it in Canva and make it more transparent if you think it's too obvious or too like visible. And that's how you get the overlays. Super simple. Download it, upload it into CapCut like this. Let's see if we can do it here. Boom, Vecteezy. Continue uploading. It will just upload there in the background. For sound effects, go onto something like Artlist. It is also, I believe that it is free for sound effects. I'm not entirely sure, but here you can find a fireplace sound like this one. Works super nice, super cozy. It is exactly, I just searched for fireplace here and I found it. And you can also search for flies. I don't want something that is kind of daytime, since the fire kind of signifies it is nighttime. But you would just go through all of this, find something like a sound effect of flies, because that is the feeling that you want to portray with your content. But I'm just going to use the fireplace one for now. Alright, so the next part of the video or creating the video would be to add the fire particles overlay. And the way that you're going to do this is just highlight the main image here and then press on the three dots up in the middle of the screen, and then add overlay and simply choose the file of the overlay that you want to upload. It's going to take a while for it to upload, so I will just continue with adding the sound effects in the meantime while it does upload. But for that, it's exactly the same as the voiceover. Simply take the file of the sound effects that you've uploaded, add that to the timeline. Oops, it's just, actually let's refresh here. Hopefully that doesn't ruin the overlay. Might have done. Let's just drag that to the timeline here, the sound effects, and we seem to have to redo the overlay once again. Boom, boom, like this. Perfect. And the sound effects, I definitely recommend that you do change the audio volume of it. If I can just see that here. You just press in the top right corner here once again on the kind of music icon. Sorry, my camera's in the way, but then you would just drag down the volume to something like -20 or -30 decibel, whatever sounds good and doesn't. What you want to make sure here is that the sound effects and the soundtrack does not overpower the voiceover. The voiceover is the main attraction, and then in the background you should be hearing the sound design and the sound effects. So we can just take a listen to this here now. Listen to how it sounds.
Imagine waking up in 1325, scratching flea bites from a bug-infested straw mattress, surrounded by...
We can probably increase the volume a bit more. See how it sounds now.
Imagine waking up in 1325, scratching flea bites from a bug-infested straw mattress, surrounded by livestock in your...
Yeah, that sounds a lot better. You can actually hear the fire now. And yeah, the literal last part would just be to add the overlay. It seems to be downloading in just a second here. We'll just let it finish like this. Perfect. Now we have the overlay. And what you want to do with this one as well, first of all, just place it across the entire screen, of course, like this or something. Press the basic up in the top right corner once again, and then you can just change the opacity of it like this to, like, 20%. And if we now watch it, you'll see that we have the overlay.
Imagine waking up in 1325, scratching flea bites from a bug and...
Perfect. And to make it longer, of course, you can just duplicate it as many times as you want to. Make it even longer and just have that across the entire video, and you should be good. So these 4 components, or more if you want more sound effects, this is what the Sleepless Historian channel consists of. It really isn't harder to that. And then the last step would just be to press on the button here up in the top right corner to export it. Very straightforward. I don't think you need some help how to do this. You just make sure that you have the highest settings as far as the file quality goes. If possible, export into MP4, and that will be, then you're done. Then you have your first ever upload. The way that you're gonna scale on YouTube the fastest is if you just stop kind of overthinking the quality of the uploads. Just start getting stuff out there so that you have some data to work with, and you'll be seeing some good results come very soon. Now, keep in mind, this video of course looks a lot worse than the reference channel, since I did this just super fast without making any real iterations. When you get through this workflow, get more familiar with creating these videos, your content will start to look a lot better than this. It will be more well put together, and that will of course benefit your channel and help you grow even faster. However, the hardest part with starting a channel like this is of course finding the opportunity, finding the niche. This channel that I just showed you in the beginning, they just didn't start with historic sleep content out of nowhere. They had a very clear strategy in mind, and that is something for a totally different video. I have created a full tutorial on how I find my faceless niches as well. I'll put it somewhere here on the screen where you can just watch that as well. But if you want anything specific, want to learn anything about YouTube automation, simply let me know in the comments. I am looking for more content to create video topics, so I'm willing to help everyone out that leaves a comment. If you want to learn how I am also helping people create channels like this, giving them more direction on a coaching basis, simply click the link to apply for a free strategy call in the description. I'm willing to check that out and help you out as well. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Hope this was valuable for you.